Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for joining us again here today on our live stream with me, Mary Jo Coulihan. I'm the Executive Director of the Pagosa Springs Chamber of Commerce. Thanks for joining us as we have another information-packed show for you today. First and foremost, I just want to again thank MGM Design, which is really their home office is out of Arizona, but they also have an office here in Pagosa Springs. They've been doing 3 days of digital training for us here at the Chamber of Commerce. We've had a class in the morning and in the afternoon for the past 2 days, and then today is our last day with a different topic. And I'll tell you, we've had standing room only. We are so excited that we had so much participation from our community. It's been great. We've also been offering free consultations if you have been to the class. And that class was open both to chamber members and non-members, but on a different scale. Obviously, as a chamber member, that's one of your benefits. But we just want to thank everybody and our participants and our sponsor, our lodging sponsor for that event, which was Healing Waters. We want to thank everybody for participating. We hope that you got a lot from the classes and you walked away with some great information and some actual tips in your hands. So we will be doing more classes later on this year. We will be doing a starting your business class in probably November, and we will be doing that class in English and in Spanish. So spread the word. If you're interested, just stay tuned for more information as we put that class together. Another reminder for you is our business happy hour this month will be August 23rd. That is again on a Friday. It's our business happy hour. It's the start of the weekend. It's great to get out there. And we're going to have some live music and some delicious food and beverages at the Pagosa Center of New Thought. Or the New Thought Center. So that is located in the Pagosa Lodge, right on Highway 160. They always put on a fabulous event, delicious food, great music. If the weather's nice, we get to go outside as well. But if the weather isn't nice, we have an indoor backup. So it's a great time for us. Mark that down on your calendars. August 23rd from 5 until 7. The cost is only $8 for chamber members and any of their invited guests. The other thing I want to mention is we do have a ribbon cutting coming up at the very beginning of September. JJ Accounting has moved from their offices in the Rio Grande Bank to over on Talisman. So we will be doing a ribbon cutting there. You'll hear more about it. It will be on September 7th. But it'll also be a kind of a wonderful farewell for Joanne Jacober Howell, who has been an accountant, many people's accountant for years and years. So join us. That will begin at 11 o'clock, but we will be talking about that in the upcoming weeks. Now, I do want to remind everybody that Colorfest tickets are on sale, both for the Passport to Pagosa as well as the Bands and Brews. We keep working on events and trying to make this particular event better for you. So we're working on better transportation because we know that it's hard to park downtown. So we're working really hard to improve our transportation and perhaps provide a shuttle service for you both on Friday and Saturday. We've got breweries committed to this. We've just gotten our glasses off and getting printed as well as t-shirts. So that weekend is coming up fast and furious. And as you see on the screen, that will be here. September 20th and 21st is the Passport to Pagosa and the Bands and Brews, and the 21st and 22nd will be when the hot air balloons launch. We are still in the process of having the balloons launch downtown on Saturday morning and on the west side of town on Sunday. So stay tuned for more information about that weekend, but just go to pagosachamber.com. click on our graphic and you will be able to purchase tickets for either Passport or Bands and Brews. Also, for all you chili aficionados, the Mountain Chili Cha-Cha will be happening September 28th. So get your recipes up and running. There's lots of different categories, from just green chili and stew, and commercial categories, so amateur categories. If you go to ilovegreenchili.com, you can find out a lot more about that event. But for you restaurants, yes, they're going to be having the margarita contest. So it's just going to be a great event that weekend as well. But before that weekend, we have one of Pagosa's premier events coming up this weekend. We have some good news for you. We have some bad news for you. The good news for you, or the bad news for you, is tickets are sold out. But the good news is you can still vote. And we have a former dancer, as well as the husband of a former dancer, as well as last year's MCs joining us this year. And that is none other than Jason Cox and Joe Jordan. So thank you, gentlemen, again for joining us this year. Second year as MCs. Are you ready?
Jason, are you ready?
Oh yeah, we'll be ready. We're ready to rock.
This is such a fun event, and Seeds of Learning is such an incredible organization to support. So yeah, it's so much fun.
Well, this is, do you know how many years has this been going on?
Yeah, this is year number 7.
Okay.
Commenced in 18, and all 7 of these shows have been sold out, which is really impressive.
That is impressive. But a couple years ago, we added a component where you could vote for your favorite team, obviously. So can you tell us a little bit about that process?
Sure. You have and what makes the event so fun to watch, you have 6 dancing duos. They are competing for the coveted Mirrorball Trophy, which is the team that raises the most money for Seeds of Learning. So every vote, one vote equals $1 of donation to Seeds of Learning. And so people can, even though it's sold out, people can still vote. You can go to growingseeds.org to learn more about dancing with the Pagosa Stars. You can see the 6 dancing duos, and it has links for you to go to vote if you'd like.
Yeah, I think what's also really great about that site is they've got some Q&As on there, like how do I vote and what do I do? So it's a really great, a very informational site to go to. You know, we talk as if everybody knows what Seeds of Learning is, of course. So it's like, oh, it's for Seeds of Learning. But we always have new people on our show. So could one of you explain why this event is so great and why are we donating to Seeds of Learning?
Yeah, you bet. So Seeds of Learning is one of our local preschools that does early childhood education. There's several great ones in town, and it's one of them. They've been established for a little over 20 years, I believe, and it is an organization that has slots for about 60, 65 kids each year, and they take kids from 2.5 years old up until kindergarten time, and really to involve methodologies of teaching and learning by play, and the kids love it. They go to school there generally year-round, and they're very well prepared by the time they get to kindergarten, and it makes a huge difference in outcomes later in life. This specific event supports Seeds by helping cover tuition gaps. Most of the children who attend fall short of their families being able to pay the full tuition. So the money we raise out of this event, which generally is right around $250,000 every year, it's very impressive for our community. That money goes to help cover a significant funding gap and make the school successful. And so, yeah, they play a critical role along with a couple of other preschools here in town.
I think that's great. You mentioned that we do have several early childhood centers. However, this one holds a particular certification. Joe, do you want to expand on that at all?
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. When, I love Pagosa. I know you love Pagosa. It feels so good to me to know that we've got a industry leading, nation leading, in top 5% in the state of early childhood development centers. It really leads the pack, and it's really something that we can be proud of, and knowing the importance of early childhood education to happiness, success, getting that head start to really succeed in school and beyond. It's just such a great cause, and really, when somebody votes and that dollar goes towards the tuition gap, it's really helping those kids that probably need the help the most.
Yeah. And, Jason, it's interesting. You and Shelley are hugely involved, and you have been involved. You and your wife, Shelley, have been involved in many, many of our community youth, although, you don't have children of your own. But so for people who, like me, who don't have children, why should I donate to an early childhood center? I mean, I don't have kids.
Right. Well, it truly is a community benefit and it extends beyond Pagosa Springs and Archuleta County. It is truly an investment into the future, because when you look at the data and you see the outcomes, it leads to everything from reduced rates of incarceration and recidivism to lower rates of addictions and drug and alcohol, higher higher scores on standardized tests, entries into colleges, career earnings, or even going into the trades. There's just so many positive outcomes that, yes, if you don't directly feel it because you don't have kids that are of that age, it's still a great investment, and it's an investment that'll come back in 15 to 20 years and really benefit the whole community.
Sure. So, Jason, I want to kind of go a little bit behind the scenes. Having been a former performer, we have, as you mentioned, we have 6 dancers, all trying to win that Mirror Ball Award. But, how much input do you as a dancer have in choosing your own music or a partner? Can you give us a little bit of a little story behind the scenes of Dancing with the Pagosa Stars?
Well, I can cite from my own case that I was certainly not going to be much involved in the creative aspect of it. I just wanted to survive the training and the actual show performance. So I was handed, here is the dance you're going to do. Here's how it works, and we'll take you. So I was just like, great, maybe I can learn this actually. And I think eventually I did well enough to the amateur eye that it didn't look too bad. But there are definitely varying levels of people's participation. Some are like me, who like, okay, I'm just going to survive this thing and have fun with it and raise some money for the kids. Others have an entire plan. They want this song and this style of dance and this choreography. And so we see that. And there's a balance between the show director and choreographers and what the dancers, the stars themselves want. So the coaches have some influence on it too, as far as being able to accommodate every style, because certainly just like anything else, we have our own strengths and weaknesses. So some dance styles are more appropriate. So all those things do come together, and it's a very collaborative process. In fact, I mentioned earlier, I was still working on some changes to our show flow and script, and it's 98% there, but there's still little tweaks we're making all the way up till we launch the show at 7 p.m. on Saturday. So
it's going to be
well, both you and Joe are great MCs. As we round out, Joe, you had mentioned that it's one of the premier events of Pagosa and the season. Do you want to close out our show just saying maybe why that is, and one last plug for getting out there and voting for one of those 6 stars?
Totally. It's just the passion that these 6 dancing duos have been putting into, and behind the scenes, coaches and choreographers and planning, and there's so many people involved in this, and it's all volunteer, to really bring together a top-rate show. It's filled with excitement. It's filled with intrigue. It definitely has its moments of tension. And as they compete against each other to really go after that Mirror Ball trophy, it makes a night that is really fun. It's the best.
Yeah, it is great. It's a great evening. Is there, when can people vote up to Saturday or up to the actual like 7 p.m.? Are you aware, or should we,
Up until about,
get your votes in now?
yeah, it's early and often is always good, but we take votes during the show itself. In fact, a lot of votes will come in from attendees at the show, of which we have about 250 attendees, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And so they'll be voting. So those in the public who are not at the show can also put their votes in till roughly 8:30-ish, 9-ish p.m. on Saturday. And that's when the tallies will stop. You can still donate. You can donate year round. We always will be excited to take money for the cause. But this specifically for voting for the Mirror Ball, I would say be in by 8:30 p.m. on Saturday.
Okay. All right. Well, gentlemen, thank you very much. I know I will be there in my usual spot at a bar, but I look forward to seeing you and seeing your humor and your personalities. But most importantly, thank you for volunteering for this event as well. And remember, everybody, get out there and vote. It's $1 a vote. And it is that saying, every dollar counts, because it does. And they all add up, just like pennies make dollars. Dollars make many dollars. So thank you very much, gentlemen, Jason and Joe. We'll see you on Saturday. And everybody, thank you for joining us today. Again, I want to remind everybody about our other live stream show. I know I've mentioned it before, but on Monday afternoons at noon, we do a new business every week with our Spotlight on Business. This week coming up is a really unique business, which I think we forget about because they're kind of in the background of the business community, but they're just very integral in the infrastructure of Pagosa Springs, and that's Davis Engineering. But every week we have a new business, and I'll tell you, I love the series because I get to hear the stories. So please join us every Monday at noon or follow us on Facebook and look at our Spotlight on Business video series. Thank you again for joining us. We'll see you next Wednesday right here. Thank you, everybody. Have a great week.